In the late 1800s, the world was full of change. Factories filled the cities, trains connected countries, and electricity was starting to light homes. A new invention was also arriving, the motor car. At first, people were curious, but most of the early cars were noisy, shaky, and broke down after just a short ride. Some laughed at them and said the horse was still better. But a few men believed the motor car could be improved and turned into something special. One of those men was Henry Royce. Born in 1863, his early life was hard. His father died when he was young, and at 9 years old, Henry had to leave school and work to support his family. He sold newspapers and later found jobs in factories, where he discovered a love for machines. Though he had little education, he taught himself through practice and observation. With time and effort, he opened a small workshop making electric parts and cranes. But Royce was not satisfied. He wanted to build something greater. His dream was to create a car that was not only better, but the very best. In 1904, he built his first motor car. Unlike most cars at the time, his was quiet, smooth, and reliable. Meanwhile, another man followed a different path. Charles Rolls. Born in 1877 into a wealthy family, he grew up with opportunities Henry never had. He studied at Cambridge and became fascinated with engines, bicycles, and racing. He was one of the first men in Britain to own a car, and quickly opened a dealership in London, selling foreign cars from France and Belgium. But even with success, Rolls was not satisfied. He wanted a British-made car that could compete with the best in the world. In May 1904, fate brought these two men together. A businessman friend introduced Charles Rolls to Henry Royce. When Rolls tested Royce's car, he was amazed. It didn't rattle, it didn't stall, and it felt strong and dependable. Rolls knew at once this was the car and the engineer he had been searching for. He made a deal on the spot. He would sell every car Royce could build. From this meeting, a partnership was born. In 1906, they created a company together, Rolls-Royce Limited. Royce focused on design and engineering, while Rolls used his wealth, connections, and passion to market the cars. Their first great success came with the Rolls-Royce 4050 horsepower model, later called the Silver Ghost. It was tested on a 14,000-mile journey without a single breakdown. At a time when cars often failed after a few miles, this was extraordinary. The Silver Ghost was called the best car in the world. Wealthy buyers wanted it not just as transport, but as a symbol of perfection. But their story was not without sadness. Charles Rolls had another passion besides cars: flying. He believed the future of travel was in the air. In 1910, while flying at an air show, his plane crashed. Rolls died instantly at just 32 years old, becoming the first Briton to die in a flying accident. His life ended early, but his name lived on in the company he helped create. Henry Royce carried on the dream. Even with poor health, he worked tirelessly, often sketching designs from his sickbed. He demanded the highest standards in every car. Under his leadership, Rolls-Royce continued to grow. During the First World War, the company expanded into aircraft engines. Their engines became vital to Britain's success. In the Second World War, their famous Merlin engine powered the Spitfire fighter plane, which helped defend Britain in its darkest hour. Rolls-Royce had become more than a luxury car maker. It was also a builder of machines that shaped history. Through the years, Rolls-Royce cars became the choice of kings, queens, presidents, and celebrities. Each car was hand-built, taking weeks of careful work to perfect every detail. The Spirit of Ecstasy, the silver figure on the bonnet, became a global symbol of beauty and elegance. To own a Rolls-Royce was to own not just a car, but the very best in the world. Today, more than 100 years later, the name Rolls-Royce still stands for power, beauty, and perfection. The company has changed with time, but its spirit has remained the same: to make machines that are silent, strong, and timeless. And at the heart of it all is the story of two men: Henry Royce, the poor boy who believed in making things better, and Charles Rolls, the wealthy dreamer who believed in greatness. Together, they created not just a car company, but a legend that has lasted for over a century.